And here we are, ready for action. Welcome, everybody, today to RWE F1 Tier once again for the 17th time this season on the F1 2020 game. We're once again getting revved up and ready to go for a race today on this fine Saturday afternoon. And it's time for round 17 here at Russia. Widely considered to be one of the worst tracks on the F1 calendar in real life, but of course, things can always be a little bit more interesting at these tracks in the video game since people are a bit more balls to the wall because, you know, they don't have to worry about dying. France is one such example, produces terrible racing in real life, but is really quite excellent in this game. But anyway, time to see who got out of the pit lane first. We'll follow them for their out lap. Looks like an Alpha Tower. Yep, it is RWE Pat. So we'll follow him through the rounds, and once he starts his first qualifying lap, we will take a little brief onboard tour of this track, the Sochi Autodrome. Got a full grid today, quite surprising. There are quite a few reserve drivers here mixed in with the full-time guys. But the important thing is we've got 20 cars, which is always what you want to be getting in the league race, since that is the maximum. We'll be starting off with a short qualifying session here. As you can see, the timer's already going in the top left-hand corner of your screen. It's going to be 18 minutes in length, followed by a 50% length race, so that'll be half the length, exactly half of a real-life Formula 1 Grand Prix. And at Russia, that'll be 27 laps, a full 27 of this circuit. Can't remember the exact corner count for Sochi, but somewhere around 15 or 16. We'll go through all of it anyway during the onboard lap. Looks like we've got a couple of viewers now starting to trickle in. Make sure to say hello in the Twitch chat if you're able to do that. And now Pat's going to be starting his lap, so we are on board for the first qualifying lap of the day. As you can see, he's on the faster soft compound tire. Some people might try to run the mediums for reasons I'll get to after this lap. Going through turn 1 is just a slight kink to the right. Most drivers won't really worry about it outside of lap 1. Now the first heavy braking zone on the track after the DRS. Turns 2 and 3 there. Tricky left-hand kink on the exit that you don't want to fall afoul of or you might spin out. Carlos Sainz found that out the hard way in the real-life race this year. Now the turn 4, hard sweeping left-hander. And then into turn 5, quick right, and Pat missing the apex by a little bit there. Now a third gear corner, slightly tighter than turn 5, is the 6th corner on this track. And then through 7, a slight right-hander similar to 1, and now 8, very difficult angle at the apex. And then turns 9 and 10 here. Very tricky, high G-forces in 9 and 10, easy to lose grip. And now onto turn 11, which is a very important corner because it leads onto this back straightaway, which has the second DRS zone on the track. It's an excellent overtaking opportunity if you've got the balls. Not quite as easy as the pit straight, but it is still possible to overtake here. And now, turn 12, a little hot in the braking zone for Pat. Back left for turn 13. Now coming up to the quick left-right-hander of 14 and 15. This is the most elevation change you'll see on the entire track, but he's invalidated the lap time. Looks like he turned it a little bit too aggressively at 14, and he's going to be aborting the lap early, it looks like. But turns 16 and 17 are pretty simple, just a couple of 90-degree right-handers. So who's going to be the first to come across the line? It's going to be one of the McLarens. Not quite sure who. Looks like my spectator menu's glitched. Epic J-Ball coming into the pits as well. Looks like he's invalidated. The other AlphaTauri is now on track in the form of Adam. He's going to be the first one to cross the line with a 1 minute 31.738. Looks like we've got a Williams up next. It's going to be Baby Pluto, one of our championship contenders. It's a 130.994. Puts him up to the top of the leaderboard. A racing point coming across the line now. It's Tom Battlers with a 131.740. Only 2 milliseconds behind the time set by Adam. And CTR Flowery in the Red Bull, one of our reserve drivers, coming in at a disappointing 143.5. Looks like he might have had a major mistake in that lap. He almost certainly has. The pole time will most likely be somewhere in the low 130s. Maybe we'll get into the 29s. We'll find out as the session goes on. But Murdoch takes provisional pole by about a tenth of a second there with 130.8. And FRI Ronhar immediately steals it away with a 130.0. Those are some pretty old tires. He should be thankful that that's not a top 10 time. Oh, that was quite dangerous. Ghost was on the racing line there, and I think that was Tom's Battlers that he just blocked. Yeah, that was Tom's. I saw a front wing end plate flying off there. I think, did Toms lose his right side? No, he didn't, but he very well could have. That was quite a squeeze. When you're on a slow lap, you always want to move over to the side of the track to let people on flying laps through. You don't want to hinder them or you're going to get a penalty. And I suspect that will land Ghost in a bit of hot water with the stewards later on. That was very dangerous. In the meantime, let's take a look at CTR Kaos, just starting a flying lap time. And in the turn 2 now, let's ride on board with Lorena. Why not? Carrying a decent amount of speed through turn 3. W1S Ghost learning his lesson and getting out of the way this time. Actually, that might have been Hogballs in the Alfa Romeo, who's currently on an outlap. Through turn 5 again, very smooth. Kaos, one of the more seasoned drivers in this field. Not always the fastest, but usually top 10. Ooh, taking a little bit too much sausage curve at turn 6. That's going to compromise his exit. They're still going. Into 8 now, still taking a lot of curve. That really is compromising his exit speed. Very smooth through 9 and 10, though. That was an excellent move. Textbook about how to get through those 2 corners. Again, taking sausage at 11, but it didn't look as harmful to him that time. Now down the back straight, DRS open. Let's see what his middle sector time looks like. 104.665. He needs to find some time. He needs to scrounge some up in the 3rd sector if he wants to improve and get up the leaderboard. He needs to find at least 9/100ths of a second in this last bit if he wants to leapfrog Silky. That was a Mercedes blocking him there. I think that was Mr. B. Now into the penultimate corner. The lap looks fast, but how fast is it really? It's going to be a 31.2. He found a lot of time in the 3rd sector. Look at that. 0.3 of a second, and that's going to rocket him up from 8th to 5th. Very well done there. Leapfrogging Silky, Aiden, and Adam. Great stuff. W1S Ghost comes into the pit lane. His tires are probably spent at this point. Miniscope looks like he's finishing up a lap. Yes, he is. Oh, but he's quite far behind on his previous time. Silky about to start a lap. Tom's about to finish one as he goes through turns 14 and 15. Epic J-Ball retires. Ooh, he retired in turn 13. Did he crash? Ooh, a bit of a wall tap for Tom's. Oh, he lost his left side end plate, and that's going to ruin his lap. Oh, and he's out. That was a very botched pit lane entry, to say the least. Ooh. That has to smart. Now let's see if we can find. Yeah, it looks like J-Ball just crashed in turn 13, so he won't be able to get any higher than 11th. Mr. B and Toms are also out. Murdoch retires because he's happy with his time, all the way up in P3. I would be too if I were that high up the leaderboard in this field. As Ghost retires as well after his 3 laps on softs. A lot of people on flying laps now. The session is about to end, so no one will be able to start flying laps from here on out. Looks like Ronhar missed the cut for new laps. And Ben Spittles rockets up to 2nd place with a 130.482. Could we have a Ferrari front row lockout in 2021? That would be quite the impressive thing to see. Crispy says, watch Ronhar. Your wish is my command. And he's invalidated his time. So Ronhar will not improve on his time of 130.0 as there's a Renault stuck in at the end of turn 6. Not sure which one that is. I think it's Chaos. Oh, and he spins out and loses his wing. That's not good at all. So it looks like Crispy's prediction is false. Ronhar will not get into the 28s. He won't even get into the 29s for that matter. RWE Aiden, purple middle sector. Look at this. The Mercedes driver could steal pole or perhaps a front row grid slot. I'd say the latter is more feasible considering just how dominant Ronhar has been in qualifying. Smooth through turns 14 and 15. Now approaching the final 2 corners. What's it going to be? It looks fast. Looks like it could be on track for a 1:30, but what kind of a 1:30? It's a 1:30.8. Not quite first row material, but second row stuff. Very good indeed. Up to 4th place for RWE Aiden. Both of the Ferraris are coming around now, but they're AI controlled by this point, I'm sure. Baby Pluto has invalidated his final lap. And Vaccinator's also AI controlled at the moment. Anyone else left to finish? No, it doesn't look like it. We just need Pluto and Ronhard to retire. And then we'll be able to move on to the race. This is your official starting grid. Unless we have any grid penalties to speak of. I'll check the race director for those now. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, no grid penalties. Which means this is your starting grid. FRA Ronhar, unsurprisingly, on pole position once again. Followed by Ben Spittles, the GOAT, in his Ferrari. And then Baby Pluto, Aiden, Murdoch rounding out the top 5. Followed by Kaos, Adam, Silky, Tom's, Mr. B. And then Ghosty with his surprise 11th place time right at the end of things. Followed by Epic J-Ball, Pat, Miniscope, and Hogballs. And then at the very bottom, Great Ace, Ghost, Flowery, Batsinator, and Black Sox. Batsinator never actually set a flying lap time, quite surprisingly. Five red lights. They're out and away we go. The two Ferraris both getting decent starts, but Ronhar seemed to be having the better of it. Black Sox rejoins the lobby just in time. Ronhar takes the lead commandingly through turn 1. Everyone fanning out as much as 4 wide, it would appear. Spittle's going to try a dive down the inside, though. Ben Spittle's into the lead as Ronhar decides to surrender the position. And there's a car around. It's a Mercedes. It looks to be Aiden. Aiden's been spun around somewhere in the back by turn 2. Plenty of chaos early on. Pat as well on the medium tires appears to have spun. Same with Chaos, all having problems at the start. And Mr. B is out. Mr. B is out of the race. Let's right on board with Pat. Oh, that is an ugly sight at turn 5. And there's a virtual safety car already. J-Ball and Ghosty both getting collisions. It looks like a piece of Renault front wing just fell off, so you can assume that Ghosty has suffered front wing damage. In the meantime, CTR Kaos trying to go after Great Ace in the second Williams car. Doesn't look like he'll be close enough for a move into turn number 12. And he is, and he has a little bit of a look, but can't quite get it done. Ooh, and ahead of them, Flowery goes very wide. Looks like he outbraked himself a little bit there, and that's going to open the door maybe for Great Ace to make a move, or maybe for Great Ace to get held up and for Chaos to make a move. Great Ace goes wide now at turn 14. That's going to give Chaos the opportunity to get him on exit. Tom sets the fastest lap in the race again with 1:35.0. Ooh, but Chaos backs out of it. He knows that turn 16 is not usually a very good overtaking spot. He has plenty of time to clear the Williams, but he also doesn't want the Red Bull to get away. Ghosty gets a 3-second time penalty now for track limits to add to his 5-second that he got under the VSC. Chaos going to try a move here for the final points paying position, but not quite doing it. He knows there's too much at stake here in the early stages to risk anything on lap 4 of 27. Chaos gets a time penalty now for track limits. They're side by side into turn 5. Chaos is going to try it around the outside. They're still side by side into turn number 6 now. That's going to turn out Great Ace nosing ahead now. Chaos nosing ahead on the exit. And Chaos finally gets the position. And now that squabbling has invited RWE 8 into the mix. It is Mercedes who had that spin at the very start of proceedings. Looks like he's missing a front wing end plate on the right-hand side. Yes, he is, but he's still going after Great Ace with all the fury that he normally would be. As Chaos sets to work on Flowery, and Aiden just barges Great Ace out of the way. They're into turn number 11. But he's not going to get DRS. Great Ace will, so he could have a chance to strike back here. Will he take advantage? No, he's not going to, I don't think. Yeah, that is too far back. As Flowery has officially been overtaken by Chaos, so Chaos will now set after his teammate Ghosty, who's already saddled himself with quite a few penalties. And meanwhile, further up the field, things are getting close. Tom Battler is putting in fastest lap after fastest lap, has now caught up to the leading 3. The Ferraris of Ben Spittles and Ronhar, as well as Baby Pluto's Williams. And this is looking like a very exciting 4-way battle for the lead. I would not have expected this at the start of the race. It's Russia, crying out loud. This is never exciting in real life, but in the game, who knows what can happen. As Tom gets the 3-second time penalty on turn 3. Now we're going to ride on board with the Racing Point Man for the remainder of this lap unless something else happens. Down a second gear to try and get a little bit more engine braking, I suppose. But the car slowed down a bit more, rotated more. Yeah, Tom's gone a gear lower in all these corners than you normally would. Probably something to do with his driving style. Ben Spittles now, the race leader, under pressure, getting a 3-second time penalty on the exit of turn 10. That's somewhere where he could very easily go wide if you're not paying enough attention. something to note here is the respective battery capacities of all these guys. Ben Spittles has 50% worth of overtake left. Ronhar has 70 to 80%. Maybe Pluto still has a decent amount, 2/3. But Tom's, he's spent all of it catching up to these guys, so he's going to have to rest and recuperate for a little while and just try to hang in these guys' DRS before really making a proper shot at Baby Pluto. Twelves 9612 in the chat saying Ben Spittles is the GOAT. I'm telling you, he's doing very well right now. Really unwise decision there from Ronhar to pit immediately and get that double stack, but what other choice did he have, to be honest? If you don't pit under safety car when everyone else is, you're really losing a lot of time. So just wrong place, wrong time for the Dutch driver. And we're under green flag conditions again. Pretty decent start for Ben Spittles. Let's ride on board with him. And yeah, he's already got a pretty decent gap to Baby Pluto. Very good start. Baby Pluto in second. And ooh, we could have a move from Silky, or Silky on the outside of turn 2. Look at that. Smooth move for second place by Silky. And now Ronhar's making a move of his own through turn 4 at the highest speeds on the track. And Pat's out. Hold on, Pat is out. He's binned it on the pit straight after turn 1, it looks like. So we already have the 7th retirement to the race. It looks like that won't bring out a safety car. His car's already despawned. As Bathinator goes diving down the inside of Baby Pluto. I'm not sure what's going on with him right now. Murdoch getting a little out of shape as he tries to follow Bathinator through on that move. Ronhar right on the back of Silky. A little bit of rear end wiggling as he goes through turns 8 and 10. Aiden gets the 3-second time penalty now for multiple track limits warnings. And now Ronhar's going to have the slipstream, and there's a virtual safety car, and that's going to be a reprieve for Silky, I suppose. And DSC to clean up the mess made by Pat, I suspect. Looks like CTR Flowery has also had some problems early on his medium tires. And yeah, he's missing a front wing end plate on the right side, so not a very good race for Flowery at the moment. Looking like he's going to have to come back in again if he doesn't want to lose a huge amount of pace because of that front wing damage. Now let's watch this battle for a second, as the VSC will end at any given moment. Still not happening yet. And here we go. We are green again, and already Ronhar's alongside the Racing Point car. 2 really good VSC restarts for Ronhar. He seems to be very good at those. Ooh, contact further back, but looks like there's front wings flying further back in the battle for 5th, and Ronhar gets past for 2nd place. Silky's trying to fight back, but he doesn't have the space right now. This one I saw Ghosty's front wing flying off further back, but no. Looks like he's good for now, and oh, he's into the wall! The commentator's curse strikes again. As Ghosty, right as I said, he was fine. He was fine, right? No damage whatsoever. He's now binned it on the exit of turn 4. And that is going to be game over for the Renault driver. 8 retirements already. This is quite a high attrition race. Austria 2020 all over again. In the meantime, Bathinator JB in McLaren, after starting in 19th place, seems to be having a bit of a return to form here as he's up to 4th place and now pressuring Silky for a podium position. McLaren on Racing Point. Both of them have about the same ERS right now. And there's a virtual safety car again. Again, caused by Lucy's wreckage, I suspect. Really high attrition race. Sochi is not normally like this, except maybe at the start of things. And CTR Flowery, that insult to injury after his unscheduled pit stop on a spin and all of that, he's getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. Really not good stuff at all right now for Red Bull, or at least for Flowery. Murdoch's actually doing okay. And in the meantime, Ronhar is back up to 2nd and back to what he was doing before the safety car, chasing after his teammate Ben Spittles. He's almost within DRS range now. Silky is in a little bit of a land of his own. Bathinator not getting the best restart off that VSC. The meantime has just been passed by Murdoch, who, as he was trying to, is being aggressive on the soft tires. Of course, he is going to have to make another pit stop, so I don't think it was the best decision from him, but in the short term, it is going to gain him quite a bit. And in the meantime, RWE Aiden is now going to get into this battle for 6th place. And another virtual safety car. In the meantime, Kaos has gotten past Aiden. Kaos got past Aiden out of the turn 15. Perhaps another slide from him. Aiden gets back ahead for the penultimate corner. Neither of these guys seem to be faring particularly well right now, and they're allowing Baby Pluto to kind of streak away as Ghost gets a track limits time penalty. And now Bassinator's just watching all this with glee, thinking maybe they'll crash each other out. And I'll get 2 free positions. And he goes down the inside. He's going to work for the position instead on not quite getting it on Aiden, but Aiden wiggles out of turn 3. And now Bassinator still is going to have a chance here. Side by side still, he's just alongside into turn number 5 now. Big dive, not quite getting it done. Aiden has to go wide at the exit to avoid him. And now they're going to lose time to Kaos, so he could streak off as well, break the DRS maybe. And now he's going to get the DRS, and he is closer than he has ever been. Look at that. Through turn 1, what can he manage? He's been wearing down Spittles' DRS. Is this where he finally gets the better of him? Down the inside. Oh, and they touch still. So not entirely clean attacking from Ronar, not entirely clean defense from Ben. But one thing is for sure, they are going at it with all their collective might. Ronar not the best run through turn 5, probably because of that dirty air. Spittles still keeping the lead inexplicably with just 9 laps to go now. We're about 2/3 of the way through this race. And the battle for the lead has not relented whatsoever since the start of proceedings. Late braking for Ronar, that's going to hurt his run off the corner. That might cost him a chance at an overtake into turn number 12. Ooh, he's really leveraging his battery, though. He's got a huge advantage in that department over Ben at this point. Ooh, they touch. Ben's going to try hanging it around the outside. He goes wide, and he passes him off the track. I'm pretty sure that was illegal, actually. Looks like he had all 4 wheels off for a pretty decent time there, and sure enough, he lets him back past, because he knows that was a very bad boy, naughty move. But Ben should still be within striking distance for a counterattack on the pit straight here into turn 2, especially if Ronar locks up into the penultimate corner. Spittles locks up into the final corner. Now, he's going to be close. He's going to have to use a lot of battery, and Ronar has a lot to defend with. But he can still do it. He's doing it right now. He's on the outside. He's going to clear him in time. Yes, he is, quite easily, in fact. And Ben Spittles again retakes the lead. Upstage saying last time the Ferraris were this close to 2020 cars. Yeah, Leclerc mounted Vettel and they were both done for at the Styrian Grand Prix. Don't think that's going to happen today because cars never really mount each other with these physics. But still, something's going to happen here if they don't relent soon. Side by side through turn 6 now. Forget about non-conventional overtaking opportunities. The whole world's their sandbox now. Ronhar's still not able to get past. He's got to be fuming under that helmet at this point because, again, as I mentioned, Spittles' defense has not been entirely clean. That last pass for the lead into turn 12 was quite dubious. He was looking again for turn 12. This could be the one. Yes, it clears him. Huge dive, though, from Spittles, and somehow he makes the corner. My gosh, that was a super move. It was like Tom Battler's one earlier on that made him crash out of the race, except this time it actually works out somehow. And he does not run into the back of the car ahead, but instead passes the car ahead. What a move. And again, Ronar is foiled. But again, he's got more minge power in reserve than Spittles does. He's got about twice as much battery right now. So let's see what he can do with it on the pit straight, on board here. And he's going to get past again. It's just an overtake fest at this point. These guys can't go one single lap without swapping at least once. Spittles isn't going to be close enough into turn 5, but it could pressure Ronar into a mistake at the exit. But he's not. Murdoch gets a time penalty for warnings. Meanwhile, I should note that Murdoch is pitting now for soft compound tires. No, he's not pitting. He's pitted for mediums already. Bathinator's the one pitting for soft compound tires. I'm not too sure why. And in the meantime, Kaos really getting close to Silky now. He could try and make a move here for the final podium position. Is he going to go down the inside? He looks. He has a look. He's so close, but he can't quite get it done. And that half move might give a bit more of an advantage to RWE Aiden, who's still right there behind. Now, Batsnader sets the fastest lap of the race on his tires, 133.193. Quite fast for race. And Silky catching up to Baby Pluto, but not enough for a move. Kaos right there, and Batsnader's out. Right after setting the fastest lap of the race, Batsnader has just done himself in. Looks like he's out somewhere on the pit straight, near the braking zone for turn 2, but not quite at the braking zone. I have no idea what happened there. But we now have 9 retirements in this race. It is officially the same attrition rate as Austria of this year, the first race of this real-life season. My gosh. What a surprising race this has turned out to be. Now Kaos still right on the back of Silky. Let's keep going with this battle. Monhar's all on at the front. No point watching him right now. Looks like Kaos is the best position to make a move right now. So let's go on board with him for the pit straight. We might be a bit too far back. Silky's out of ERS, but Kaos is going to be out of time by the end of the straight. Yeah, he didn't get anywhere near. So the status quo remains. Ben Spittle smashes Batsnader's fastest lap by about half a second. 132.636. That beats a lot of the qualifying times that we saw earlier on this stream. Oh my gosh. Upstage saying maybe Batsnader got too close to the wall that swerves in aggressively right before turn 2. Yeah, that is entirely possible. I've been caught out by that a couple of times in 5-lappers. It is not a pleasant thing. It is not a pleasant thing at all. It's not a great way to retire. Kaos still hounding Silky, but Silky's hounding Pluto enough. Again, he's right on the back of Pluto, enough so that Kaos can't quite make a move. He's still too far back. Silky might be the best position now, actually. He might be in the best position out of everyone to make a move on Pluto, although that title might actually go to Aiden, who's closer to Kaos than Kaos is to Silky at the moment. Of course, they're all quite close together, so what does that matter? They're all super crazy close. Aiden, his weak spot this entire time has been Sector 3. Really can't seem to get 12, 13, 14, and 15 down. Having a lot of oversteer moments in those areas, and that's hurt his chances, frankly, quite a lot for a pit straight overtake. Made things a lot harder than they need to be. Kaos now closer to Silky than he's ever been, I think. He's going to make a move. He's going to be in a position to do it this time. Down the inside he goes. Can't quite finish the job as Silky goes off the track. Silky has to go off the track to avoid a crash there. And the stewards might have that reflect on Kaos as a penalty. Not entirely sure what they'll make of it. Because the dirty air or something else, or for whatever reason, no one can get quite close enough for a proper overtake. And now Silky appears to be at risk again of falling out of DRS range of Baby Pluto in second place. Difficult situation for all of them right now. And still no apparent opportunities for overtaking. All these guys, they're running low on tire grip, they're running low on battery, they're running low on patience, I'm sure. Ooh, Kaos, so squirrely but very good run out of turn 3. Good help him in his battle with Silky. Not going to help him in the short term, though. No passes into turn 5 for you, amigo. Ooh, they are very close together, much closer than Aiden and Kaos. Could something transpire on the back straight? It is very possible. All depends on turns 9 and 10, I suppose. Kaos looking much tighter through 9 and 10. I wonder if Silky's taking a lot out of his tires trying to catch Pluto. Ooh, Kaos so close that I'm wondering if he has to back off at times. And I think he did back off at turn 11 because now he is quite far behind. Silky weaving a little bit on the back straight, trying to break that toe. Aiden still closely behind. He's recovered from his mistake now fully, and he's once again within striking distance. WNS Ghost lapped Alfa Romeo, briefly flashing by here for all four contenders. They're going to lock up for Kaos in the final corner. That could hurt his run. But Aiden, again, just a tiny bit of oversteer, these micro moments at the exits of corners. They're really hurting his momentum. Oh, but he still has a lot of momentum here. He's using all of his overtake. Trying to get Kaos outside. Look at this. Oh, he goes off the track. I think that's going to be an illegal overtake for Aiden. He did put all four wheels off the track there in turn 3, completely ignoring the turn 3 kink, actually. And that might end up being a penalty later on, but for right now, let's focus on the on-track action. Kaos getting really squirrely out of turn 5. As Silky now gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's his first of the race. We're on the final lap now, so if they do any more moves, they're going to have to do them now. Aiden could be within range for something on Silky. Let's find out. What can he do on the back straight? This is for the final podium position. Ooh, Silky's really using up all of his battery. He knows he's got nothing to lose now. Aiden's going to be close enough for a run into turn 12. Look at this. Down the inside. They're side by side. Aiden has to back out. There's just not enough room. Not enough room to run side by side for very long through there. And Silky is going to hang on to the position further out front. FRA Ronhar is going to be the winner of the RWE Russian Grand Prix. Baby Pluto 2630 with an excellent defensive drive in the second stint. He's going to earn himself second place. And it looks like Silky ATM is going to hold off the pressure from behind very well indeed and win that final podium position. Aiden fourth, Kaos fifth with a spin right off the end of turn 17 as Ronhar did, it would appear. Ben Spittle's P6, Murdoch is going to be in P7. And then Ghost, Great Ace, and Black Sox are going to round up points. What a race. That was a very surprisingly good one. Did not expect that from Sochi usually. But we got it today. Black Sox in AI form cruising to the line, although I'm not sure if his points will actually be counted because he disconnected from the session relatively early on and didn't join, so this could actually turn into a point for Flowery. Speaking of Flowery, he just got another penalty to add to his collection of penalties at this point. And he's going to be the last one to cross the line in P11, at least provisionally. Unofficially. And that's it. The Minge power has triumphed over the Goat power. Ben Spittle's making a fatal mistake in the latter stage of the races. He was attempting to defend his lead, and it cost him big time. WNS Ghost gets driver of the day. I'd say that's well deserved. He started really far down the order, somewhere, I believe it was 17th. And in the end, he was able to climb up to a points-paying position, survive the race, survive the crashes, ignore the attrition, and he's rewarded with 4 World Championship points. But Ronhar, for his efforts, his Minge power, was awarded 25 World Championship points. Real impressive stuff from him, as per usual. Ben Spittle's getting the fastest lap and the bonus point that comes with it, with a 132.636, so I suppose that was a silver lining to the mistake with Ronhar, that he was able to get an excuse to pit for soft tires and push all the way to the finish. There will be no podium interviews, since I believe... I know Ronhar doesn't have a mic anyway, so he can't be interviewed. Silky, I believe, doesn't have a mic either. And there's really no point interviewing just Pluto. So that is going to be the end of the stream, unless you have any questions for me in the chat. I will be signing off now. Don't forget to join us next Saturday for round 18. That'll be the Japanese Grand Prix. Never want to miss that. Suzuka is one of my favorite tracks. And it should be one of yours too, if you're an F1 fan. So don't miss that. Thank you for tuning in today. I know Russia isn't always the most exciting track, but it looks like we made the most of it today. And that is the end of our weekend for RWE. This has been Stupid Plans 48, now signing off.